pretty much solidified what I wanted to do, like if I wanted to do this or not. I just felt the need. Like I wanted to help Ukraine. I also thought at the time, like, if I can take a 16-year-old or 18-year-old's place, like in the military, to give that kid like a normal childhood, essentially. Like,
Right.
I'd rather do that than sit back and not really do anything. I was still like nervous about going, but what really solidified me going is at the train station from the Poland to Ukrainian border, they had a section of the station blocked off. It was just for refugees from Ukraine, so it's women and children. Kids, like, they're all cut up and bruised from getting bombed.
Shit.
Yeah, so that just like really solidified, like, yes, I want to do this because this is ridiculous. This is atrocious.
Yeah. Ukraine is complicated. So the problems between Ukraine and Russia have been going on since at least the 1930s, whenever there's this thing called the Holodomor. And it was part of Joseph Stalin's efforts to, view kulaks or wealthy landowners as part of the class war. So a lot of them were sent to Gulag, and then there was a giant famine that followed, killing millions. A lot of anti-communists use this as like the quintessential reason why communism will inevitably fail. Enter World War II, the war in which the Red Army of the Soviet Union defeated the Nazis. During that time, there were a few ultranationalists in Ukraine, including Stephen Bandera, who is still widely celebrated by a lot of people, including a lot of the people who wanted to decouple from Russia. In fact, the ubiquitous phrase Slava Ukraini is from Bandera, and there's still Bandera mythology all over the country, including, the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. He seems to take part in a lot of this as well. So a lot of people cite this as Ukraine's kind of fascist, including Russia, who used the denazification of Ukraine as one of its excuses to launch a 2022 invasion. But anyone who's paying attention knows that a lot of this modern stuff came to a head in 2014 during the Euromaidan crisis, in which a lot of European-leaning Ukrainians ousted President Yanukovych, who is now in exile in Russia. And we're like, we're done with your shit. You want to make us too close to Russia. But there's a lot of ethnic Russians in Ukraine who speak Russian and sympathize with the Russian cause. And they're in a region called the Donbass, which includes the Luhansk and Donetsk oblasts. And they kind of started a separatist movement, and that started a Ukrainian civil war. During the Ukrainian civil war, there was allegedly an election in Crimea to annex it to Russia, which Russia has a major naval port there. So, take that for what it's worth. And a lot of people talked about little green men dropping in right before this election. And, it's still in the hands of Russia. They even built a bridge between Russia proper and Crimea. And then Donetsk and Luhansk are still conflict zones raging to this very day. And a lot of these separatists had Russian backing until 2022, in which they seem to have the full support of the Russian military, who launched an invasion of Ukraine. So a lot of people are torn on this one, right? There's a lot of right-wingers and leftists alike who think that Ukraine is a Nazi-supporting regime who is backed by the imperialist pig dog that is NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a coalition of a bunch of different European and North American countries to aid each other in mutual defense. I mean, Article 5 means an attack against one is an attack against all, and it was most recently utilized after 9/11, which is why we had the coalition and not just a bunch of U.S. forces. So, NATO expansion is another thing that the Russians cite for why they had to invade Ukraine. And to be fair, Bill Clinton expanded NATO into a lot of post-Soviet entities, not including Ukraine. But in 1994, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Russia, and America, and a few other post-Soviet nations all got together and said, hey, get rid of the nuclear missiles on your soil, and we will make sure that nobody fucks with you, right? Well, Ukraine got rid of its nuclear missiles, but it doesn't seem like people are agreeing not to fuck with them. And there's a lot of people in the United States who are both for and against us intervening in Ukraine. Ultimately, I see each side of it. You know, it's a complicated issue. I wish that the separatists of Donetsk and Luhansk and Crimea could have an international vote to see where, you know, they go. If they want to be an independent nation, if they want to remain with Ukraine, if they want to be a part of Russia, self-determination, let them do it. But I don't think that can happen until the Russian invasion ends. So while I'm against war, I'm against all war. I think that there is something to be said about this one and the way that proxy wars and wars of expansion are fought right now. Like even people who might be against the Ukrainian government and their President Zelensky, who's also the voice of Paddington Bear in the Ukrainian translation, fun fact. A lot of those people would love to see us out of there. But then you're going to see Russia take over. And then you're going to see things like North America try to take, I don't know, Panama, Greenland, Canada for the United States. Because nobody stopped Russia. Who's going to stop us? But tonight we're going to interview a guy who was so moved by the perils of the Ukrainian people that he volunteered to go fight in the trenches with them against the Russian hordes. So we're going to talk to him tonight, get a little geopolitical, get a little in depth with the things he's seen in a war that looks way more like World War I than it does any other modern conflict, with all the trenches and the smoke and the horses. It's crazy out there. You should watch some combat videos if you have the stomach for it. Nuts. All right. So today on Sunken Press, we're joined by Derek.
Hello, Cory.
Hey, we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, we have.
So you're here today because you made the decision to fight in Ukraine, correct?
Yes.
All right. So we'll get to that in a second. I want to know a little bit about you and a little bit about your military history.
I enlisted with my friend in 2008. I ended up developing a pulmonary embolism in my chest.
Ooh.
Which they said that part of my lung collapsed and my asthma came back. So I was discharged from there after only being in there for like a year.
Discharged from?
Marine Corps.
Okay.
From that's pretty much where my military stuff kind of went away. I've always been like a gun nut, I guess.
Yeah.
But responsible.
A responsible gun nut?
Yeah.
What made you want to join? Like, what
With
was
the Marine
it?
Corps?
Yeah, like what was
My best friend joined, and I was like,
you just wanted to.
yeah, whatever. Let's just do it. Something to do.
Hell yeah.
Would you jump off a cliff too? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would. Got to see him hit and see if he's okay first, but I'll jump off.
Fair enough.
All right, so you're in the Marine Corps for a year. You get the pulmonary embolism.
Yes.
And then what happens between that and you deciding to go to Ukraine?
So when I got out, it was kind of like 2009-ish, 2010 for the Marine Corps. My grandmother came down with dementia, and me and my mom took care of her until around 2020. Before we put her in a nursing home in 2013, I went to college to do IT. That's pretty much my career. I've been doing like IT for a decade, 10 years now. The whole war kicked off in 2022, I believe. Reading up on it on Reddit, seeing what I just get information about it.
Yeah.
Just the more that I saw of like Russians killing the women and children, it really irked me.
Yeah.
I wanted to like help. No one else was doing anything. Like none of the countries were providing any kind of like military support or anything like that. And that really bothered me. I knew I had some military experience, never had combat experience, but they were just looking at the time for people that had military experience so they didn't have to like train up people.
So it's like a civilian program? Like, what was it
Ukraine?
exactly? How did you end up getting over there?
Yeah, someone read it. There's like a guide on there, what to do, volunteers for Ukraine.
Okay.
I went through there.
Yeah, so you're on Reddit, you're trying to figure out like if this is a thing for you, what A made you pull the trigger, and B, what happened next? Like, how did you get from here to Ukraine?
I called someone there. A Reddit post had like NGOs,
Right.
that are over there, like talking to people and stuff. So I reached out to one number, the Tennessee number, and talked to him, and we had like a good conversation for about like 2 hours. Pretty much solidified what I wanted to do, like if I wanted to do this or not. I just felt the need, like I wanted to help Ukraine. I also thought at the time, like, if I can take a 16-year-old or 18-year-old's place, like in the military, to give that kid like a normal childhood, essentially, like
Right.
I'd rather do that than sit back and not really do anything.
All right. So you've decided to go. You feel for the Ukrainian people. You have some military experience. What did the going there look like? Like, did you leave out of Lambert? Like, was it just like a normal, I'm gonna catch a plane?
So
And how long were you prepared to be gone, I guess? is the
Yeah.
question. Like, did you
so-
have to set up a lot of stuff to leave? You know, you
Yeah.
have a job.
kind of, yeah. So
Right.
October, I was really thinking about leaving October 2022.
Okay.
But I just got so I was working at Boeing as a contractor doing like a senior system administrator, which is like a higher level IT position. So I was not, people called me crazy, just leaving my good career, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it. Like I needed to do it for my own self.
Hey, I quit nursing to become a stand-up comic during the pandemic, so I totally relate to that. That
Yeah.
impulsive, let's just fucking shake it up.
So yeah,
Respect.
and I was trying to figure out how to get the funds to like fly out there, because that's gonna be like a $2,000 plane ride out
Yeah.
there. So obviously I couldn't afford some of my gear, like my helmet, the plane ride, my rides out there and such. So there was I don't know if it's still active or not, but it's Protect a Volunteer. They take donations. They'll set someone up like me that doesn't have the funds to go out there, but I want to do it. They'll set me up with like a donor, and they will pay for plane rides and like if you need like a couple $100 or whatever for necessities while you're still going through the process of getting paid from Ukraine.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Ukraine pays you?
yeah, they were.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I didn't. Okay, see. I'm learning so much. Man.
yeah. The donor was like, we're gonna leave around the 10th of May, which is my birthday. So I got food poisoning flying out there around like May 9th or 8th.
Okay.
And my birthday, I think I was in Poland. And it was like thrown up in the bathroom, sweating bullets, like trying to stop being sick. But
Ugh.
yeah.
So you flew to Poland.
So like, there's different connections. So
Okay.
United States to Germany and then to Poland, to Warsaw.
Okay.
And then from Warsaw, you take train to, it starts with P. I can't pronounce these Polish town names.
Yeah.
I was still like nervous about going, but what
Yeah.
really solidified me going is at the train station from the Poland to Ukrainian border, they had a section of the station blocked off. It was just for refugees from Ukraine. So it's women and children, kids, like they're all cut up and bruised from getting bombed.
Shit.
Yeah, so that just like really solidified, like, yes, I want to do this because this is ridiculous. This is atrocious.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be happening to a child.
No.
But they were very nice because I was sleeping on, it was just like a bench with arms on both sides. It was like a long bench, so I couldn't like lay down.
Right.
They asked me if like I was going to Ukraine, and I said yeah, and they like put me off into my own little room and let me sleep because I was up for like 36 hours just trying to do that.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's like a day plane ride, like going through there.
So you go from Poland to Ukraine, and once you're in Ukraine, where did they take you? Like, where did you end up getting off the train?
So after we figured out like who we wanted to be with, like there's different groups. So there's the International Legion of the Defense for Ukraine, which is just Legion. And then there's a couple other ones like Da Vinci Wolves. And then what I was in in Ukrainian intelligence, just their infantry ring for them.
What
But
made you choose that one?
this was after like talking to the guy from Tennessee, like
You
getting
felt like that was the best fit for you? Like,
yeah,
for
pretty
you?
much. It was just making sure, like vetting everything. Like I tried to vet it as much as possible.
So was this like in Kiev or was this like on the
yeah,
front
we went to
lines?
Kiev.
Okay.
Like, from Poland to Kiev and just sit there. I did get scammed when I got out of Kiev. I talked to the taxi driver and I was like, "Hey, I don't know." Like trying to go through my Google Translate, and then
Yeah.
it was like, "Can you take me to this address?" And they said, "Yeah, like 80 dollars, like USD." And I get there and I paid him the $80 and I talked to one of the guys there and I was like, "Why was it so expensive for me getting here?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you got scammed. Like you're not it's $80 when really it's like maybe $10." What I paid
Got
for it.
really
Yeah, it was
scared.
I was so mad, but at the same time I was like, I kind of deserve that. That's on me.
So you got a stomach bug. It was just your birthday. You just got scammed by a cabbie, and now you're in infantry intelligence, right?
Yeah, I'm at our little base, which is just like a dorm essentially for like boys or whatever. So we're sitting in this dorm. It was just us, all adults in there.
So were you like one of the only Americans in that group, or
No, there was like 4 Americans because this was like a new team that they were setting up.
okay?
Uh,
So like you're in this infantry intelligence. Were you supposed to be fighting in the front lines, or were you running tech and intelligence, or
yeah, we were infantry, so we'll be fighting on the front lines. Like
Okay.
we would hit positions that the intelligence GUR would want us to do.
all right? So once you're there, do a lot of them speak English, or is there a lot
Some
of
of them, they're some of them are really good with English. They'll talk to you. It's like hit or miss sometimes with people, but
All right.
for the most part, after being there for a while, like a couple of months, started to like
become a little immersed in the
a
language?
little
a
immersed.
bit?
Like I can understand a little bit what they're saying.
So were they cool with you?
Yeah, they were
Like,
cool. Like the civilians are really nice. They're very appreciative of any foreigner coming over there to help.
So you went from Kiev. Did you go eastwards to like the Donbass region, or
So I was in the Kramatorsk area.
so? All right. So you get sent out there. You're in a dorm. When did you first experience Russians?
Like a couple months after being there, I was like one of the only people that had their contract at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We just got a different Ukrainian commander, and he was asking people like, "Who wants to go? I want to be a part of something." Like,
So
yeah,
you had a
I'll
lot
do
of
it. I don't
downtime?
care what the fucking mission is, just like take me with you. And me and another guy, and then 2 Ukrainians. That was like our little group. The Ukrainians drove us to Kramatorsk, that area, and we got set up Airbnb essentially for the houses over there. Is where
Okay.
like they didn't have specific bases. You just like Airbnb'd like a residence, essentially.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you had a lot of downtime whenever you're in that dorm.
hmm
Was there a lot of training, or was it just like
Yeah, pretty much
goofing around?
like
Okay.
every day. Like I was in worse shape than I am now,
Mhm.
so I was like dying, carrying like stuff on me. So I'd like build myself up within like a month or 2.
So you did Marine Corps basic training.
Yeah.
How did that compare to your time training in Ukraine?
I felt like when I was training in Ukraine, it was more of like, "Hey, let's go shooting at the range. Like, let's go do something." Like,
So it was like summer camp,
kind of, yeah.
but
Like,
violent summer camp.
Yes, it was great. I loved it. It was fun for me, really.
So what kind of guns did they give you? I mean, you said you're a gun nut. I like guns myself.
Mhm.
Like what did your average loadout look like?
They gave us the CZ Brins too, which is kind of like it's a Chechen.
Yeah. Check it. Yeah, it's like the is it the top loader one?
Let's pull it up real quick.
Cool. I was gonna say they didn't just give you a wood furnitured AK-47 and send you on your merry way. It's like kind of like an MP5 looking thing. So they give you one of those, threw some armor on you, and sent you to the front lines.
Pretty much. Really.
Cool.
Because, so we were different how we operated. Normal like Legion or whatever, you go out there for like a month. You're online for like a month or a few weeks. We
Okay.
would go out to a trench, do our mission, and then like come back. Within,
What
like,
did a
couple-
mission look like?
So you get loaded up in this like APC armored personnel carrier.
Yeah.
And depending on how ballsy the Ukrainian whoever's driving is like how far you're going to be away or how close you're going to be.
Okay.
And this is the first time like going out. They were like telling me the area, like, "Oh, this is path. Like this is where we go. Like don't don't move from paths. There's mines everywhere. And they're like showing me pictures. I'm like, all right, cool. We get loaded out. We go out. They drop us off like a mile or two away. And then like the Ukrainian guy that was with like our commander later become like my best friend out there really. He just like sprint away. He wasn't sprinting obviously, but like he was walking a lot quicker than I was because he loaded my pack down with like 50 or 60 pounds. And I was like really pissed at him. So I got lost because it's 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so you're doing this at night?
Yeah, doing this at night.
So you're walking a minefield at night with 60 pounds on your back?
Yes.
Cool.
While you're hearing drones, like you hear the buzzing flying around you. And you don't know if they're friendly drones or Russian drones. So you kind of just like gotta sit down or like try not to be visible really to them. But most of the time
be
it's
hard
like
with thermal. Yeah, I was gonna say, how
Not
are
much you
you?
could do with thermal.
Yeah, you're hiding from the predator.
Yeah, pretty much. So I got lost. I'm like trying like, Ari, where are you? Like Ari, trying to like not yell because I don't know how far away the Russians are. Like
Right.
the trenches like maybe 200 or 300 meters away from each other. So I don't know like where I'm supposed to be going. I just know like the general like the way.
Right. And you can't step off the path
I
because
can't step
there's
up-
mines.
I did a couple times.
Oh no! You stepped off the path.
Yeah, because I was like,
mines?
this looks fine. Like a little, because it was like a crop field. So I was like,
Okay.
this looks fine. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And then I fell in a big artillery crater hole.
Oh God! Yeah, that whole landscape's pockmarked, right?
Yeah. It seemed like every mission I went on, I fell. Like I fell into a hole or I just lost my balance. I don't know what it was. It just,
Did that get you a nickname?
no.
Oh, there's Crater Boy again. Falling on in them craters.
Oh, so about what they call you in Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
So they ask you like, what do you want your call sign to be? So
Okay.
everyone's like, one guy chose toaster, another one chose pikey, which is like a slur for gypsies.
Oh.
Yeah, but he was from Britain. I don't
so,
like British.
so he's Romani?
No, he's just British.
Oh, so he's just a racist British guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
cool.
much.
Yeah.
You just say you don't like British people?
Who does?
Every single British person
I
I
like the
met
BBC.
out there, I did not like.
They also don't seem to like Americans
Mm-hmm.
in the military.
But the Scottish or Irish, they're like really nice. They're like, oh, hey, like, fuck the British. And like, yeah, cool. I don't like them anyways.
So you're out there with like Brits, Scots, Ukrainians, Irishmen.
Yeah, one of the Scottish guy that was with us, he's like a 65-year-old man. And
Whoa.
he is in a lot better shape than like pretty much everyone. He fought in the Falklands. He wanted to come over with the same mindset that I had. Like he didn't want to see kids or young adults like die needlessly for this. Like he wanted to take someone's spot.
So your first night out there, you get lost in a minefield.
Yeah.
You make it to the trenches, I'm assuming.
Yeah, eventually like he'll come by and be like, where you at? Like, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, I got lost. Quit running away from me. I fell in a hole. Like, what the fuck?
What are the trenches like?
They're pretty nice. They're like, so maybe like a foot taller than me, really. 'Cause they
Okay.
get down a little bit.
Are they like mud walled or y'all got
Pretty
like
much
concrete?
like clay and mud.
Okay.
Yeah, timbers are up there too. Trying to find spots for a shotgun, and they're just like leaning against the wall. And then one of the Ukrainians like, started like digging out a little cubby hole and put it in there. I'm like, oh yeah, that works. That's good.
Little shotgun cubby holes. I
Yeah.
love it.
And then there was like the
Claymores?
Claymore, yeah. That I was like looking at it. He's like, no, don't touch. I was like, yeah, I know, like not to do this, but they had grenades everywhere, like in the trench, in case they like started taking it over. Like, they would
Okay.
just pull that and blow the whole trench up.
Very World War I, what you're describing.
Yeah,
you
pretty
got
much.
the trench gun in the mud hole, and you've
Yeah.
got the whole place wired to blow. I mean, so far you're describing some like 1917 Battle of Verdun shit.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Was it electrified? Were there like lights on and shit, or was
It depends on what line you're on. Like line 0 is the front line. That's where
Mm-hmm.
I was. I think like line 3 is like the furthest one away, and that has like electric, internet, actual beds to lay down in, like refrigerators, toilets.
So you're sleeping in the mud and shitting in a bucket.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool.
Wait, leading to my question. the food. I just have to get this out of the way. What did you eat?
Yeah, what did
That's
you
hungry
eat?
video.
I love the food there. Food was nice. It was great.
Really?
They
You're
had
like an old grandma cooking for you guys. Like
Pretty
I
much.
It was
So-
Oh, that's the babushka. We keep her in the bag.
So the towns and stuff, even like the major towns that aren't cities, they're very community oriented. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows everyone. They'll talk to you, like they'll come up and they'll help everyone out. When I was in Bjorka, a guy's on our team or unit, his dog got hit by a car. They shut down the whole town and was like, "We're gonna find this. We will pay for your dog's injury. We're gonna find this guy and make him pay." And you're like, "Okay."
Communal vet care. I love that.
Yeah.
Communal veterinary vigilantes. I love that. No, like that's the way shit should operate.
It should.
So did they feed you? Like the
Yeah,
community?
they fed us. Yeah.
Okay, so you did have babushkas in the back making borscht.
Yeah, that was base, but where we stayed at home when we weren't on mission.
Okay.
Really, it was
But in the trenches, did they bring you borscht down there? Or did you have
no, you
MREs?
just carry MREs with you or
Okay.
whatever. It's you don't really need to carry MREs if you're only going to be on the mission for a day or two. You can not eat for a couple days.
All right. So you're sitting there doing intermittent fasting in your World War I trench.
Yeah. pretty
So
much.
tell me about how the Russians happened. Like when was your first encounter with the Russians?
So the very first set of missions, first deployment, I guess, my second one, we started getting attacked, and my buddy has a video of me on the M60, firing.
Oh, you had an
the trench.
M60? So we're
Yeah, they
going
had
from,
it set there. I ain't gonna carry that back.
like a
I'm not
mounted
machine gun.
M60?
It wasn't mounted. It had a tripod. You had to
Okay.
pick it up every time you wanted to fire over there.
Nice, nice. So we've gone from World War I to Vietnam.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool. Love it.
So just hammering their position, keep them from coming at us.
A little suppressive fire.
Yeah. You could see the video. You could see tracers go over my head, maybe a foot from where they were shooting at.
Jesus.
Yeah. The artillery would come in. I just ran out of ammo for the M60, and I'm like, Ari, I need ammo. And as soon as I turned my head to look at him, I followed an RPG, smack 5 feet in front of the little walkway that we have. It didn't blow up crazy or anything, obviously, because I'm still alive here, but
Right.
I watched it pop.
Well, that had to be absolutely horrifying.
I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, so you were getting fired on by machine guns, small arms, and RPGs?
RPGs, yeah. Buddy, he shot AT4s and other RPG 22s or 20s or whatever they're called.
Do you have any hearing protection?
Yes, I wore ear pro
Okay.
every time I went out.
I was gonna say, because that sounds like a lot of loud noises. You're there manning the bush. What they call the M60s? The bush pig, the pig. I don't know. I've watched Apocalypse Now too many times. So you're there manning the M60, almost getting blown up. You got your earplugs in. You're good to go. So how far away were they?
I'd say probably 200 or 300 yards, really. It's
Wow.
not that far, but it is kind of close.
So did they have their own trenches, or were they trying?
Yeah,
to
they
take
have their own
yours?
trenches. They move in to attack or cause a diversion, I guess, or whatever, start firing on us. We were sitting in one trench, my buddy, Ari, Ukrainian, talking to him. We don't have our plate carriers or helmets on. We just have our rifles with us. Because we're just being idiots. And
Of course.
it's hot. We just don't want to deal with it. So we're sitting. They carved out this little cubby hole where they put other AT4s and ammunition in there. They start dropping mortars. Nothing else is going on. You just hear the mortar come in and hit. You could hear it getting closer and closer. And we're like, oh, it's going to be fine. They're not going to happen. And then it smacked right in front of our position. And it blew up all this dust. And I kind of just tucked and I rolled back all oop, time to go. And just laid there for a moment. Is this okay?
Jesus.
Run back. Yeah, my buddy was my call sign was dead. I called myself dead
Okay.
because I'm a morbid person.
It makes sense. I mean, you're in Ukraine getting mortared at. Dead seems like a fine word to call yourself.
I
Yeah.
have 2 questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Was there ever a time that you felt oh shit, I'm in over my head. What did I do? And also, on the opposite end, was there ever a time that you can remember you looked around and was this is actually where I need to be?
Beautiful question.
So the very last mission, or I got my injury, a buddy died, and like our whole unit really got hurt. After like, this is a little hard to talk about a little bit, but
You don't have to
Yeah,
if you don't.
no, I need to. This actually does help.
Okay.
It helps me mentally to like talk about it.
Yeah.
But the mission was to climb up this because we're attacking a quarry essentially, but they dump shell off, so it's like 40, like whatever, this kind of
Like a 45-degree angle.
yeah, probably a little bit steeper.
Okay.
And we had to like climb up two of these fuckers, big tall ones, to like go attack this trench because they weren't expecting it. But we're doing it. We get up there, we're getting in position, and then our point person, Ukrainian, he just yelled Peters and starts like Haji firing, like put his AK over his head and start firing. Peter is
Oh.
Peter Ross is fits.
Oh.
Yeah. So he yelled that, blew our whole like advantage of like stealth, really, and then
Why'd he do it?
because he's fucking 18, 17, he hasn't done it before.
Oh, so he
So he's
just
like-
he drops a slur and just starts firing over his head.
Pretty
like,
much, yeah. We're like, as soon as he yells it, like us three Americans, like we look at each other like, what the fuck? Like who said that? Like why would you do that? And like about that time, Russians are coming, and like I like reach up and like I pop one, and he falls down. Like pulled out a grenade and like threw it on top of him, just to make sure there's no one else over there. But
So you actively popped a guy.
yeah,
Okay. That had to be a little fucked up.
I mean, a little bit. The way I look at it, and I know that's probably might be some mental issues with me, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's either me and the guys that I know, guys I sleep next to, like I hang out with, I drink with, or some person I have no idea who they are. They might as well just be a rock at that point.
Depersonalization is the way you have to do it, man. I mean, you're in a position where that guy would have killed you if you didn't kill him first.
Yep.
So was that the first guy, or did you pop other Russians? that you
There's
know
other
about?
ones like the prior missions, like the ones in the trenches, like defending.
Okay.
They were not happy with that RPG when they shot it at me. I popped a couple people there doing that.
I mean, that is the response to almost getting blowed up.
Yeah.
You almost blowed me up, dog. You get it now. So
Yeah.
So you pop a Russian, threw a grenade on top of him, and at this point, are you like digging in, or are you retreating because the cover's blown?
Oh, so we're sitting there, all three of us, because it's me and then my buddy. He has what's it called, Bulldog or whatever. It's like a Mark 19, like a grenade launcher.
Okay.
He had that with his rifle, and then our other guy, who has like a longer scope on his rifle. We're all using CZ Brins.
Okay.
It was just us three, because we're like digging in, like going to like continue what we needed to do.
Uh-huh.
And I just hear dead. Come on. Like I turn around and there's no one there, like no Ukrainians, no one else there with me and the guy with the bulldog. It was, I was like, you need to come with, like, we're pulling off. We need to go back.
Uh-huh.
No one told us. They just left us there, all three of us.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And
So are you about to get like just stormed on?
artillery came down like a lot. around
Okay.
us, yeah. So I'm like trying, like I'm skull dragging myself through this like little fucking trench. It's like this tall.
Uh-huh.
Like trying to keep myself down. And finally I got like maybe 50 feet away from like where the lip of the shell ridge is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna run. Like I can't fucking. This is ridiculous. So I ran, like slid down the hill a little bit, and was like talking to our team leader at the time. Like, what are we doing? What do you want us to do? And at that time, like artillery's coming around us. Like you could hear it whiz by or see it like explode not next to us, but like around
Close
us. Yeah.
enough that you're
all-
in danger.
I bunched up next to him, trying to like tell him like we need to do something. We just can't sit here. 'Cause we're just gonna die. They're just gonna shoot us. They're gonna have like a FPV drone or something come in and hit us. Trying to convince him, and he's shirking up. I'm like, we need just like move, like just go one way or another. Like, we need to leave like right now from this position. We move, and like a minute or two later, a shell hit like right where we were. And it was like, you motherfuckers, we need to go. Like, very frustrating with that. There's a lot of
Frustration
and bad coordination between like guys in our unit or in our team, because we just got bunched up with a different squad of Ukrainians
full
just
of
to, like,
young
augment 'em.
folks
Yeah.
who will yell slurs and fire blindly. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what happened to that kid? Like, did he escape or did he get popped?
I think he's still alive.
Okay. And you said you got injured in this?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if like me jumping out of the way of like a shell hitting or what have you, but I have a herniated disc like in my back, like back here.
Shit.
Yeah, like we walked in, that was like a 5-mile hike in or whatever, and coming back trying to leave, like climb up over all this other dumb shit. Like my back, it felt like someone, when you squeeze your hand, you feel like the blood go away.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like in my legs. And like I was basically like an old man using my rifle to like as a walking stick trying to get out of the way. Like I couldn't climb on stuff because it was getting so bad.
So that's whenever you were like, why the fuck am I here?
Pretty much, like I was looking at like walking through that opening where the minefield is. I was like, damn, I wish I could see like my dogs or my mom one last time.
Yeah.
And it just like that's pretty much the end of my thoughts.
And you said that's the one that got your team leader?
Yeah, my friend, he died. He got hit with cluster munitions. We pulled off. One of my guys, he got a concussion from the explosion. I was looking at him, he's like, I can't see. And his eyes were closed. And I was like, just open your eyes. Like, what are you need to open your eyes. That's why you can't see. And then other good friend, he went back up to help some more. And then artillery hit next to him. He goes, oh, Dad, I think I'm hit. And I'm like, what do you mean think? And he goes, oh, I'm hit. And I'm like, throw a tourniquet on. You're like, why do I have to tell you this? Like I ran towards him. We got him out of there. He not shattered, but like he green stick fractured like a bone in his leg, and he had like a couple pieces of shrapnel down at his ankle.
Fuck.
Yeah, he walked out of that without any help. Whereas like I was crawling towards the end of the thing.
Adrenaline will do some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mm-hmm.
Damn. And you said cluster munitions? Like, aren't those like banned?
Yeah. I think America uses it too.
Well, America and Russia would use those, possibly Israel. Who knows?
And mines as well. I think those were banned by the Geneva Convention or something.
I don't think the Geneva Convention has any merit anymore, does it?
Nope.
Jesus Christ. All right. So we're doing a timeout?
Yeah.
All right. Quick timeout. We're going to do a little break.
If you have thoughts on this episode, comment. We want to hear from you. That's why we're doing this. Without you, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Hey, if you like what you heard, like and subscribe. That was normal. That was a normie one. That was such a normal take. All right, so we left off before the break with you talking about how you lost your friend to cluster munitions, your herniated disc. There's somebody with his eyes closed, has a concussion, like, and you're thinking, why the fuck am I here? How long did you stay in Ukraine after that?
So that all happened in November. November 15th is when everything happened. Some friend died, and try to like keep that date available so I could just like lounge around and suffer
that's
in
a
silence,
self-care day if I've ever heard of one. That's a book a hotel, get in a jacuzzi day. Yeah.
So I was in the hospital. So they have when you first get injured, they'll take you to like this small little outpost thing. They like loaded me up in an APC, had me go over there, take off all my gear. I tried to explain what's going on, and once they had me in the room, like I went to sit, and like my legs just stopped working. Kind of like just sat up straight. That was it. But my legs were all like jelly. I couldn't like really move them.
That had to be horrifying.
At that point, I was just like, I don't care at this point. Like, just, I need something needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel the pain anymore. So they like a little stab point, just like stabilize you, and then they take you to like a field hospital thing. I talked to the 2 Americans that I was with that got injured, and me. Like we split up because I was walking slower than everyone because I couldn't like really walk.
Right.
So I was later getting to the hospitals than they are. They thought I died or whatever because I don't have my cell phone on me. We all didn't bring our cell phones.
Yeah, I
with
was going
us.
to say they would use those to get you.
Yeah. So they're trying to ask people like, "Oh, have you guys seen Dead?" And they're like, "Dead? Who's dead?" They're just like, they say it's a shitty call sign because it confused people. And
I could see why.
yeah, but I learned later that dead or died or however the Ukrainians pronounce it means grandpa, and I was the oldest one in our group.
Okay, well, I mean that
Yeah,
that works
yeah.
though.
just
So
laughing at it.
so the other part of her question, what moment were you like, this is absolutely where I need to be. This is where I belong. I made the right call.
The first like firefight in the trench.
Okay.
I was like, this is amazing. Like I have ADHD, so my brain bounces around to a lot of stuff and not really paying attention to the stuff that I do. But there was just like very cut and dry, like this, and this. Very easy for me to. I felt normal for once, if that makes sense.
The chaos of a trench war made you feel normal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It was just
That's, I
I was
mean,
locked
some
in.
people have
It was all
Adderall.
good. Yeah, I mean, I do take Adderall too.
Okay.
That's illegal in Ukraine. and-
Really?
Yeah.
So you couldn't be medicated for ADHD in Ukraine?
No, so I just like pounded monsters or whatever I could take.
All right. So your ADHD stemming with an M60.
Yeah.
And you were
good old
telling
time.
us on the break that there's not a lot of maintenance on those guns.
I didn't see a drop of like CLP, like oil anywhere, like lube. I didn't see anything anywhere. And I was like, this thing's fucking dry as shit. Like, no wonder it's not firing at times. I was getting very frustrated with it. Yeah.
So
Very simple maintenance would have kept me from doing it like 5 times, pulling it down, picking it back up.
the M60.
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That sounds awful. So, all right. So one of the things right now, politically speaking, is a lot of Americans are against sending aid to Ukraine, but a lot of them are for sending aid to Ukraine. As somebody who's been there, how did American and international aid help you and the other warfighters?
So, funny story. I was looking at one of the ammo boxes that they gave us for 5.56.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wonder where this is from. So I turned it over, and it said it's from Winchester in Alton, Illinois. And I was like, oh, this is fucking great. And I was telling Ukrainians, like, oh, look, it's where I live. And they're like, cool. But, yeah. How did it help? Yeah. So the third party, like, donations, like helping stuff, like the Protective Volunteer, they paid for my helmet. They paid for a laptop that I used out there because I was also, like, kind of for IT tech for the other people. If their like phone or computer broke or they got a virus on their computer, I helped them out with it.
So you're the IT guy who's also popping Russians and trying to fire the dirty M60.
Yes.
Oh, that's some hell of a tech support there.
Yeah. I set up because we stayed at 3 different places. First was in Bjorka, which is like a dormitory, and second we were in Rudnia, which is a town that's like maybe an hour outside of Kyiv.
Mm-hmm.
So in Rudnia, when we got there, they threw us in this like a school, but it's a gymnasium.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, you guys lay here, and we're like, where is everything? We just had like bunks set out for us. Like we want our own like rooms for doing stuff. So like we explored the area. There was a gym had the locker room for boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
So we took the one for the boys. We just like threw 4 of us in there, and we had like a projector. We're watching movies, like, just drinking because the beer's like super cheap out there.
Yeah? Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you had some reasons to drink, if we're all being honest. You're getting almost blowed up all the time. You're dealing with dirt in the equipment. So you're more of like a ragtag group of
out there running and gunning.
Jeez, man. So you were injured in November and you came home when?
January.
So what did you do between November and January? It sounds like your whole shit got fucked. Like your unit's in disarray. The commander's dead.
Yeah. They were trying to find us a different unit. My buddy that got the shrapnel on his leg, which we slept next to each other like the whole time I was out there. People would come upstairs and be like, why are you guys sleeping next to each other? You guys gay? I'm like, no.
That sounded convincing. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
You said it. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's
Nicole,
funny.
go ahead and ask the question that you're going to ask.
Are you gay? No.
no, but I did pop a boner
No.
when I was sleeping next to another
That's
man
very
after artillery,
understandable.
like our first night getting shot at and stuff. Went to sleep and I was like, oh, why do I have a boner? And I was like,
When you're asleep, you
next to
know,
two
like,
other
like,
guys,
the
yeah.
difference
I'd like
between the
look this
friction.
way. And
So you had an adrenaline boner between two dudes?
war boner, yeah.
War boner. Those are real?
I mean, for me, it was.
Okay.
Aw.
A war boner. Did it feel different than like an average one?
No, just regular.
Just a regular boner, just fueled by war. All right, cool.
Okay, you were platonic, cuddly.
Yeah, so you're
popping
platonic
boners.
We put
cuddling
a-
in a gym with some boys, and you get a war boner. And I think I've read this smut actually.
We
War boner, the Ukrainian boys.
so talking about that town, that's one of the towns the Russians were in. They like when they were coming through Kyiv, their initial invasion.
Yeah.
They took over the town. The Russians took the mayor at the time and their family out to a field and just like capped them, shot them,
Jesus Christ.
and then like when
they
they were
pulled the
leaving-
czar treatment on them?
pretty much Russians are bastards. The only people I don't like, except
fair.
for some of the British.
I feel like those are the two.
A lot
like,
of British hate.
No. Those are the
Right.
two countries I feel like anyone has the right to hate, besides like probably Americans at this point.
Well, I mean, us, Russia, and Chinese are really the only countries that people don't really like tourists. Are tourists, I guess.
Yeah, no, we are very rude tourists, each one of us, because we rule the world outside of like France and Great Britain, so we think we own the whole joint.
Yeah.
So the mayor in his, or was it a he, she, they?
I think it was a he at the time.
Okay,
But
so-
the mayor when we were there, it was a female.
Okay. So the mayor and his family just got capped out in a field by the Russians.
Yeah.
Did they execute other people?
I don't remember the details exactly, but there is a burnt out car on like the main road coming in. And the mayor told us like there was a young couple in there. Russians came by and they shot them and set the car on fire. So it killed the young couple that was sitting there.
So that's some dark shit.
Yeah.
So you were in that town after the Russians were pushed out.
Yeah. So like they've been gone for like maybe 8 or 9 months by the time we got there.
Did you see like a lot of like battle pock marks all over the city?
Oh, everywhere. Yeah. Driving in the roads, like anywhere that's closer to the front line is all big old potholes from like artillery and stuff coming in, drones and all the other bullshit.
So did you ever see firefighting again after the night you got injured?
That was my last mission. Like the person, my roommate at the time, he couldn't keep taking care of my dogs and paying the rent for the house and the other bills. So it just kind of like lined up
At all?
perfectly for me to like go home.
And you said you
care of
got
myself.
paid out there? How much were they paying people?
Like $2,000 a
month?
Yeah.
So you're making $24K a year to almost get exploded.
Yeah. And that's going from making like 100K to 24K.
That's some dedication to a group of people. So once you're back, you get back, you said in January, then you start seeing a lot of pushback against like Ukrainian aid in America.
Yeah, I think people also don't realize is we're not sending them. We are sending some money, but we're not sending them actual money. We're just sending them our old munitions, our old no longer in use like APCs or
Yeah,
Humvees
she
and stuff
weren't
like-
using.
Yeah, so we can build it back up. It was actually stimulating the economy with us getting rid of our old shit and getting new shit in.
Right.
And I think the majority, I shouldn't be generalizing like this, but I think the majority of people just see it like we shouldn't be giving them money. We should be spending it on other stuff. And they just don't realize.
Yeah, the money's already been spent building all this war equipment that
Yeah.
we're sending out to them. Do you think that would change people's minds, or do you think this is an anti-Ukrainian hatred that they've developed?
No, I think it's just, oh God. I really don't like the Trump administration.
Who does?
I think there's,
I mean, I know the answer to who does. I just
lot
don't
of
really
people.
care about
A
them.
lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, and they're like, have you ever met a Trump fan that you're like, that's a person whose decisions and brain power I'm envious of?
Never.
Never. Me either. I've never met a Trump supporter that I'm like, you're a really smart, well put together person. I'm sure your family loves you. You know, I've met a lot of people who I'm like, how the fuck did you pass the 6th grade? Jesus Christ. Okay, so I mean, I'm not gonna say that I like Democrats or Republicans or anyone really, but I do not like the Trump administration.
Yes.
So continue.
I would say, like, politics wise, I'm more of like a centrist, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
there's good things on each side, really. But I think, or it should have been telling to the people of America when Zelensky was in there talking to Trump and
Vance?
JD,
Yeah,
Vance,
the
about the
squeeze.
ceasefire, and they're like making, like, why are you not wearing a suit? Or like they're getting upset because he's getting upset about it.
Have you even said
Rightfully.
please?
Yeah,
Have you said thank you, Mr. Zawinski?
rightfully he was
Create
getting upset.
action.
Yeah.
So he left, and then he came back. It was like, yeah, I'll sign it or whatever that
the mineral
debacle,
deals
yeah,
where they were getting the rare earth
for the
elements.
ceasefire. And guess who didn't uphold that?
The Russians.
Exactly. So why isn't all that hatred that went to Zelensky for him, like, supposedly
Not saying please and thank you and wearing a
not
suit.
being, yeah,
They were basically like, you disrespected my bitch.
yeah, disrespected. Why don't they take the hate that they felt for Zelensky with the hatred, the disrespect, and put it to Putin? Because obviously he just right there did worse than what Zelensky did.
Yeah, you have to look back at people whenever you ask them if they'd rather have Kamala Harris as president or Vladimir Putin. And a lot of them said Putin
It's crazy.
because they think Putin gets things done. They love a good strongman. And now we're seeing like the threats to invade Greenland, the threats to annex Canada, the threats to take back the Panama Canal. And it's so reminiscent of this imperialist claim that the Russians are doing to Ukraine right now. And I have some complicated feelings about Ukraine. Like, I think that if the people want to separate from Ukraine and start their own nation or join the Russians, they should have an international sanctioned vote to do so. But at the same time, the Russians invaded a sovereign country after the Budapest Memorandum of 1994. And one of the biggest problems I see with this is now there's a they have a mandate to nuclearize other countries now. Like, other countries are like, yeah, you know what? We need the nuke. We need a nuke.
Deterrent, yeah.
Yeah, we need a nuclear deterrent. These people are fucking crazy and no one's going to help us. So whenever you see fucking on the news that people are hating on Ukraine, you've been there. You know the people this directly affects. Like, how does that hit your gut?
It's like a knife in the back, essentially, to me, because we're supposed to be the freedom people, like keep people from being oppressed. We went to Afghanistan, we went to Iraq to do that.
It didn't work either time.
Didn't really work, yeah. And you see something with Russia, it's crazy, because why aren't we helping them?
Because Russia can afford really good propaganda, and they're really good at convincing the Republican Party that they're better than us through, moles in the NRA.
Yeah.
You have the National Prayer Breakfast being infiltrated by the Russian Orthodoxy. Like, there are so many aspects of our culture being actively mirrored. We're mirroring Russia. Like, we're cracking down on LGBT people now. We're doing all sorts of mean shit that the Russians do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before some of our top Democrats get mysteriously falling out of windowed. You know what I mean?
Or get shot down in a helicopter.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild the things that we let Russia get away with now, because Putin is obviously a dictator. He's not a cool dude. He's a terrible man, and you've had to see, and like, even the Russian conscripts who are just being forced to the front line, like, this war has to suck for them too. And just seeing all of this chaos being done by a guy who's like, we're trying to denazify Ukraine. Did you see any Nazis while you were there, by the way? Because I know there are some there, because Bandera worship is a thing over there. Bandera was totally a Nazi.
Yeah.
People love him. But did you see a lot of that? Or is
So-
that overplayed? Because I know the left and the right each hate quote unquote Ukrainian Nazis.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than an Illinois Nazi. So, Azov, originally, it was like a very Nazi-fied thing, but being as it got like folded into the actual military of Ukraine, that has kind of been like stamped out, really, for Azov. Yeah, there are some people, like, I have a picture of us, like, we just got off a mission. The guy that took the picture did not want to be in the picture because there was a black man with us.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is some blatant racism.
Yeah, but that's more of like the younger guys, really, that I've seen.
That's really weird. That's weirder to have
Yeah,
a
that's
younger
somehow
guy.
stranger to me.
Yeah. There's, this isn't going to sound good, but I'm just going to say it anyways. The black guy in our group,
Yeah.
he bought us all like little Totenkopf patches.
Oh,
So we all wore them for like a mission.
that's crazy.
Get
So a
everything.
black dude bought Nazi patches for a mission.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
I know, it's crazy, right? It's hilarious.
So there is like fascist iconography through the Ukrainian military, but also the Russian.
They just like any military, they use those symbols. Like if you're going to use it against them, they might as well just like, well, it's ours now, so we're going to wear it with pride because you're saying it's this, but it's not really that. If that makes sense.
So it's contrarian.
Contrarian, yeah.
So they're like ironically fascist for contrarian reasons.
Yeah, just like
Oh, so
Why
you
not?
say we're
Fuck it.
Nazis? Fuck it. We're gonna wear Nazi shit.
pretty much, yeah.
That's wild.
I kind of understand it though a little bit. Just,
See, I still don't get
fucked
it,
up way.
but I am fascinated by it. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but I want to know
but,
more.
I get the urge to be like, well, you know,
Might as well, if you call us this, might as well
yeah.
just do it, just piss you off more.
it's unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one who's not a contrarian in this bunch. I would be like, I'm gonna wear a Care Bear shirt and like a Lisa Frank hoodie. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, what? What, you gonna come get me? You gonna come get this giant man wearing rainbow gear? And they would. They'd probably shoot me right in the head. I'd stick out. So,
But at least you die in fashionable.
Yeah, like
oh, however I die, it's gonna be fashionable.
So
I mean,
we-
look at my Luigi.
our vehicles, we put duct tape on them. One of the Ukrainian guys, they put a German cross, which is like the L's
Yeah.
plus. It doesn't really mean anything, just like designate us like military. We're coming into town. There's this old lady that came storming out of her apartment in Krematorsk, and she was like praying, saying shit to the Ukrainian guys that were with us. And I was like, all right, what the fuck is she saying? He goes, oh, she thought we're actual Nazis. That's what she thought. That we were
Oh.
back. So she was like very against that. Like she was an old woman, but
Yeah, the Nazis
Very
did
upset,
a
yeah.
lot of shit to a lot of Slavic people.
yep.
Some real dark shit. But then Stalin did a lot of dark shit to the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
All right, so you brought things for a show and tell.
Mhm.
And I kind of, is it
Yeah,
show and tell
actually,
time?
yeah. I was just about to interrupt you and be like, hey, you
Yeah, I can
brought
show some of
shit.
this.
Yeah, let's do a little show and tell for the camera.
So this is from, I didn't shoot this. This is like from a sister group that was next to us, sister team. That's from like a Ukrainian 50 cal rifle. It's called like the Alligator, or I don't remember what it is. But this rifle's like 7 foot tall. It's ridiculous.
I know some guys who'd claim this was 7 inches.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is the optic that I used.
Oh shit. Oh, that's wild. I expect to have like a little dot in it. I've been playing Modern Warfare too much lately.
So this has a whole bunch of clay on it from the last mission.
The one where you almost got exploded.
Yeah, almost got exploded and stuff.
So what else you bring?
Yeah, so this is a traditional, I forget what it's called, like shmer or something, but it's what the Ukrainians wear.
Hell yeah.
Me and my buddy,
Hot.
yeah.
I like it.
It's very thin too,
It
if you want to feel
also
it.
kind of like looks like something like a 90s mom would wear as a dress.
It feels like I'm gonna toss it to Nicole. Nicole,
fine.
catch.
Woo, but that's really cool though.
So these are some of these aren't the original patches that I wore, but there's patches everywhere. For, like,
Okay.
Velcro and stuff.
It's like a Punisher skull in the Ukrainian colors.
It's
It's got eyes.
one of the Ukrainian guys gave it to me, and
Oh, damn. That might be too hot for the YouTube, but she's licking that RPG. Yeah.
this is just Pound Town. Let's see.
One ticket to Pound Town. Was that about fucking or artillery barrages? Like,
Yeah,
yes. The answer is yes.
you can
Yeah.
have that one. That's fine.
Oh,
That
for-
was
to keep
yeah.
Chaos Battalion. I'm gonna start wearing this. Be like, oh yes, Chaos Battalion. Oh, Velcro and velvet do not mix. Is that a crow with a hatchet?
Yeah.
You know, that's a
Very
really
you. That's very you.
yeah, a crow with a hatchet. That's goddamn.
You also like use these to like trade for other patches.
So like Pokemon,
Pokemon
cards.
cards, really.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
All right.
really
Like
cool.
this guy wanted. I got this from one of the guys I was shooting with on like a sister team that was with us.
I don't know what this says, but I love the
It's like motherfucker or something.
motherfucker. It's got a AK-47 with a underbarrel grenade launcher on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick as fuck. What's your rarest one? What's your Charizard?
My Charizard one.
Yeah, I want to see your or a Venus or a Blastoise. Like I don't know.
I brought this with. I bought that from. This is like
Government, get out.
rarest one I would
That's
say
cute. I like that.
for me is like the special ones that they like you have to donate to someone for.
Yeah.
Like this one you can't.
Oh, that's crazy. It's like bullets going through a skull.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. And is that like Arabic calligraphy?
Yeah.
Bonkers.
There's a lot of Afghanistan and Iraq veterans, like military from different countries. This is from the old guy.
Oh, you got the Scottish one?
Yeah, it's got one.
Oh, that's wild. Edinburgh. Oh, Slava Ukraini. That was a Bandera phrase actually, which everyone is using as a rallying cry. So has that like been appropriated to not be a Nazi thing anymore?
Yeah, it just like
It's just become
it's like glory to Ukraine or whatever. Yeah.
perfect.
So is the patch thing like a very
Wild.
Ukrainian, Ukrainian
It just-
like patches? Like I just find this.
Yeah, it just started,
I
like-
like that.
I think it's a
started
new
that.
a new culture that's coming out.
Whoever started it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is a patch that best friend
No mercy. Grim Reaper shit. That's bonkers,
he
man.
had this one on the back of his plate carrier and he wore it with him all the time. So I like went to like 50 fucking stores trying to find this exact one because I wanted one to bring home with me. I was like, yes, I'll pay like $20 for it. I just want it.
Mm-hmm.
It just like reminds me of my friend. Like this one, we're like,
Oh shit. It's my life, take it or leave it, set me free. With the mushroom cloud? Bonkers. That's sick as fuck. So I do have one like last question to ask you that's like and I don't know if you've thought of this, but with the current administration's like dive toward Putin support, are you concerned about being prosecuted or even targeted for your service in Ukraine?
I'll just go back to Ukraine if I feel that. But I don't think they're gonna come after us. Really.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that have VA benefits and stuff when they were in the military, like the guy that fired that shell, him and 3 of his other guys was sleeping in this house and they got shahided, which is a guided missile. Someone in the town like ratted on them, called like Russia, and like gave them the coordinates to like hit that because there was
Oh.
like 3 Americans in there. Yeah, so it hit, the 3 guys got killed and he got like blown out of the house. And then another one came in, so they hit it twice. He was leaking spinal fluid through his ears, and
Ugh.
the VA found out about that and they cut his benefits. He was like getting maybe like 50 or 60%.
Yeah, so because the legality of fighting in Ukraine is a complicated one. Like,
I mean, it's not really complicated because we're volunteering to go over there. If it was
Right.
more like I'm an American, but I want to join the Afghanis to fight Americans, that's really I would see the difference there.
right, yeah, you're not working against American interests. Well, God, I don't know what the future is going to look like now, though, because like, what if American and Russian interests suddenly collide? Like, what if they become allies? Like, are you worried about what could happen then?
Not really. I usually like just take stuff like that when it happens. Like, there's no sense in worrying about it at the time. You're just gonna drive yourself insane if you just think about stuff all the time like that.
All Cory does is worry.
I do like to think ahead about things that
I
may
do
or may
too.
not ever happen.
But at the same time, there's stuff that you can't ignore. Like there's things that I can ignore personally, like maybe Russia taking or America arresting me and sending over to Russia. Yeah, that was a concern for like a little bit, and I just like stopped thinking about it.
I mean, it sounds like you've had a pretty interesting experience in a cultural flashpoint. So you're not really worried about getting sent to El Salvador because of your. That's fair.
I'll just leave if that happens. Like,
so if they start getting guys, you're just gonna be like, oh, back to Ukraine.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you think it's gonna go into the future? Like, how do you?
So,
because they're horribly outnumbered, and without more aid, it's
crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's been a huge flock of more people coming in or volunteers because of the Trump administration.
And it seems like Europe's trying to step up their game too.
Yeah, Poland's a big one. Poland just like wants to fight Russia. Like they hate Russia.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why.
Uh-huh. The whole splitting of Poland between the Nazis and the Soviets was awful. Like the Polish underground resistance was one of the coolest things about World War II. And the Soviets just let the Nazis kill them all whenever they could have stopped it.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Real bullshit.
My friends would say in Ukraine, like, how are we Nazis if our president is Jewish?
Now that one, there's a lot to that one.
Yeah,
because if we look at like, if we look at international fascism, it's less anti-Semitic and more xenophobic than it used to be. Like they're using what Hitler used against the Jews for Muslims and black people and Mexicans and Guatemalans and Venezuelans and what have you. Like modern fascism is horrifying.
Yeah.
So, but like on the Russian side, you have the Wagner group, which is a bunch of dudes named after Hitler's favorite composer. And you have like the Russian pulp, like Tom Clancy smut knockoffs that are just like, what if Hitler and Stalin joined forces? Then the world would be better. And it's like,
no.
Those are bad dudes.
Lenin didn't want Stalin to be the president at all.
No, Lenin was actually like, he believed in the cause. That man had values. And then Khrushchev, I like him because he, stopped nuclear war from happening. Pretty much.
Yeah.
With Kennedy and Castro. So yeah, anything else you'd like to add about your time in Ukraine, your time coming home, what Americans can do?
So I know we talked about briefly on like what the civilians thought, or just Ukrainians in general thought about foreigners coming in. It's different if you're talking to a Ukrainian that's in the military and their views on the foreign people coming in. So civilians, yeah, they love foreign people, and they're like, oh, thank you for coming. They ask you questions about like your country and stuff. But when it comes to the Ukrainians military about foreign fighters the biggest thing is foreign fighters like to lie or embellish their resume. Like the original commander for this Chaos Battalion, he said he was a British sniper. He said he fought in Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever. And then he joined up with Blackwater. But in all reality, he was just in the British Signal Corps, I think. He was there for like 3 or 4 months.
Some true Chaos Battalion shit there.
I always try to, when it comes to my experiences with stuff, is downplay it. I don't like, because I just downplay my experience level or whatever. And then I just let my actions do the talking for stuff. And the Ukrainians, like, I could shoot very well. I know what I was doing. Like, it was easy for me to do the stuff that they were asking. Foreign people like to say that they're special forces, and then Ukrainians would come up and like talk to me like, "Oh, you're special forces?" Like, no, special ed forces. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't. That is
God, I bet the SAS guys were assholes.
Actual special forces people. They're not going to say, "I'm special forces" or SAS or like, "I'm with whatever." They don't need to, because it's OPSEC too. You don't want people to know that.
Right.
So it's very telling when a guy comes up to you and is like, "Oh yeah, I was special forces and blah blah blah." But that's what the stuff that the Ukrainians have to deal with, is try to weed out the people that are lying about their prior service. Like some of the Ukrainian fighters, they don't really like the foreign fighters. We can also, like, being we signed our contract, the next day I could be like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore, and I can leave.
That sounds like they're having a hell of a hard time.
And I think now that they raised the pay to $4,000 if you're on the front line fighting instead of $2,000. Now they're looking for just people in general. They're not really looking for experienced military people that have been in the military, because I just read their website the other day. They're doing like a mini boot camp whenever you go over there. They raised their conscription age to I think like 65. The older guy that was in my group originally, he was 62 or 63. He can shoot too.
Bonkers.
Yeah,
okay,
crazy,
so
right?
that's some. You're describing hell.
Yeah, I mean it's chaos. It's chaotic over there, really. And with me being second in command, I know that like my combat experience and my just like military experience is so far below the other guys around me. Like I let them do that training, like for me, and for like planning operations and stuff. I was more of like clerical, like helping people get their paperwork and everything sorted out.
So knowing your role is why you were successful.
Yeah, and I always volunteer for stuff if it looks hard. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Herniated disc.
Yeah, pretty much. What, I got a little bit
And
more.
if it was
Oh yeah, you got more shows out. Yeah. Oh no,
I
no
was
worries.
your mother, I would have definitely talked you out of it.
So
but-
when I told her
No,
I was
no way.
in Germany and she just started crying, and I was like, I'm
So you didn't even tell her you were leaving?
no until like I left. Yeah,
That's insane.
No, yeah.
We gotta get
Count
in
my
there that he
own
didn't
ways,
tell
right?
his mom he was leaving.
yeah,
So this was on a Russian.
yeah. Russian helmet.
I have to sniff it. It's the way I do the sniff. God damn! So did you pull it off of him?
Yeah.
Bonkers, bonkers shit. You wanna hold
Yeah,
a dead guy's
actually, I
helmet?
do want to hold a dead
This is
guy's
morbid as shit. You in for the morbidities?
And this is the plate carrier that I wore over there. I use it today, obviously, but that's
yeah. You could like use that for curling. Is that like steel in there?
No, it's ceramic, level 4.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's like the dragon plate or whatever.
No, not the dragon, like the scale stuff. It's a regular plate. I can pull it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see what you got in that.
Dude, there's like hair in it.
Yeah, I had dog hair.
Yeah, I was
From my
no,
dogs.
I just I didn't say I was like, that was dog hair.
Oh boy. Any of these get hit?
No, luckily I didn't get hit with that. And this is probably like something that's really important to me. Probably one of the more important ones is I have signatures. It's kind of like a
Yearbook.
not a tradition really, but a yeah, like a yearbook essentially. That's what it is. But there's a whole bunch of
Here, well, I'll hold
Yeah.
that part of it. That is.
some of it's in Ukrainian, some of it in English.
It's absolutely.
apostle.
So you got this from your guys?
Yeah, I bought this.
Okay.
And then I had them sign it for me before I left. Yeah. So it was nice.
That is.
Yeah.
So like you got some PTSD, huh?
I definitely do have survivor's guilt
Yeah.
because I was 33 at the time. I'm not dating anyone. I wasn't seeing anyone, or I don't even have kids. The only thing that really like I consider my family is my mom and my dogs. So I definitely valued my life at the time less than other people. So like my buddy that died, he had a fiance, like he was getting married and he was going to have a family, but then he died. I just see like I don't really have anyone that was like that for me at the time. Still not, whatever.
Bro, you gotta respect yourself more.
No, no,
I
no.
still held value though.
I know,
even though
no.
you were
See, I have-
single, like, god damn.
No, now
I'm sure almost
I've gotten
dying.
over
No,
it.
Yeah.
now we're not even doing an interview. Now we're just being his therapist.
Yeah, now I am more confident in my stuff. Like I drunkenly, like I've talked to people, had to figure it out on my own. Like I have to live for not just me now, but for my friends that are dead.
Yeah, you have
So,
to have the futures
I am-
they wanted.
I am have a lot more confidence now coming back, and I'm a lot more happy with like just myself in general. I'm not really happy with like my current job and everything, come to like financial issues, but that's not really.
If anybody's looking for an IT guy, hit him up. let us know. We'll pass
He
we'll
can
pass it
shoot a
along.
gun if that helps. I don't know why it would help in an office
But-
setting, but he can.
Yeah, he can do IT in a trench
yes,
being shot
yes.
at by
I mean,
Russians.
that is what the.
So
Like he can drive 3 hours to turn on a power button under fucking heavy fire.
another big thing that another reason for Survivor's Guilt really is that their fiancés would message me on Instagram like, "Hey, you were with so and so. Have you seen him?" And I'm like, I don't, because they don't. The bodies are missing. What I think is the Ukrainian government is not saying that they're dead, just so they can pay their widows or their fiancés, so they have some money. Because if they didn't have that, like there'd just be one person now trying to afford an apartment in the city.
Ooh, and I'm sure everything's going to fucking hell because, you know, capitalism, supply and demand.
So that's
getting gouged.
But this is what I'm kind of just assuming it makes sense, is that it's just so their fiancés and stuff get the money.
Well, they know now.
Yeah, I mean, I told them before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were
No, it's not a secret.
Wow, that's kind
I
of
told
hard
them.
to break it to them like this.
And they just, rightfully, they don't believe me, which, like, I can't be mad
Well,
about that.
they're in denial.
Like, that's,
Right, yeah,
no, I
that's a
get
stage
it.
of it.
Yeah.
God damn. That is a heavy burden, man.
Not really.
You walk, like, one day you're on Reddit feeling bad for these women and children. A couple years later, they're in your DMs asking where their man is. I mean, I've definitely gotten DMs asking where somebody's man is, but like usually they're just hanging out with me getting drunk. But like, damn, if the answer was, oh yeah, he got blowed up while we were trying to take this quarry.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. God damn.
Like, I was one, Ari, a good friend, that he turned into my best friend out there. I met his family, drank with his family. And I kind of kicked myself because on our first mission, it was just me and him going out to the trench. And he goes, "You'd leave me. If I get injured, you're going to leave me. Like, will you leave me?" And I go, "No. Obviously, I'm going to take you with me. Like, I'm not going to leave you there to die. But me getting injured, and then I can still see him clear as day. It's just like right now is like I kind of like waved at him. And he waved back. And that was the last time I saw him.
Jesus.
But I was already like gone. Like I was towards like walking wherever the medical place is. But I just heard this loud like explosion. But it's far away, so I didn't like feel it or anything. Just heard it, and I was like, I hope it isn't him. And then comes to find out it was him.
God damn.
I would get woken up in the middle of the night, like in Kyiv, because they'll send like the guided missiles, like Patriot missiles going off and like blowing up the rockets that Russia just sends into Kyiv. And it was every like towards the end of the month or the beginning of the month is when they would do that. You pretty much like tell. There's also a curfew in Kyiv. You couldn't be out past 11.
So I bet you take the little things less for granted now, huh?
Yeah. Like before he died, like me and him got into a little bit of argument. I was mad at him about something, and dreadfulness is just like I wish I could have told him like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just like upset. Like I wish I could have apologized to him at least once." But now I'm like more understanding of things. I let stuff slide a lot more. I'm not super critical of myself. Finally get this confidence and self-respect.
You keep that main character energy. You need it.
I'm not main
Everyone needs
character.
it.
I mean,
No, it's like the energy. It's a good thing. It's
you definitely have some plot armor. I mean, come on, you survived some shit you probably shouldn't have survived.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to my mom. I go, "There's at least like a 80 to 90% chance like I get injured in some way, and at least 50% chance like I die."
But then you didn't.
I didn't. Yeah,
to deal
no,
with
that.
it. Now you have to deal with not dying.
Mm-hmm.
God, dude, that sounds like simultaneously like the worst thing ever and a whole new lease on life.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. Well, let's get you an IT job and a girlfriend, man. Like that. After what you've been through, IT job, girlfriend, some reasons to live. Like
I have reasons to live. I'm happy.
I mean, yeah.
Never like, yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
imply that he's suicidal.
I'm
God
sorry.
damn it.
I don't think he's suicidal.
I think everyone just thinks of that sometimes.
Yeah, everyone wants to just bum rush a trench full of Russians at some point in your life.
I've had